Yo, welcome to another edition of the Geekers Podcast. I'm your host, Steve, and I'm here with my brethrens, my blood clot brethrens, however they say it over there. Tommy T and G are in the building with me, like always. Today's episode, man, we got a lot of news today. We also got, of course, we got what's in your speakers coming. Get your pens ready, write down the music that you would like to enjoy as well. Also, man, we got this week's episode is pretty much a freestyle episode. And what we mean by that is we're not going to be on here freestyling, although we can. Don't get me wrong.
Man, I don't know about me.
But what we'll be doing is we pretty much are going off the cuff, bringing in a lot of news of the week, and we're going to see where the discussion goes. A couple topics you can already get ready to look for is, of course, Lil Wayne, the biggest topic, him selling his masters, as well as a little bit of Cardi B situation and more to come. So without further ado, man, please subscribe, like, share, comment wherever you at. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. If you find us on any of the major podcast platforms or any podcast platform for that matter, please subscribe as well. But please like, comment, share, and enjoy. Yo, what's up, man? How y'all doing?
Man,
doing pretty good, man.
Chilling, dog.
Word.
You know me, man. Waking up from a nap.
Here we go.
Oh man.
Man, like he got in trouble.
Bro, Donna?
Man, I remember them days.
What's the dude that the Sandman? The Sandman be beating me up every day, bro.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Sandman. I ain't heard much about Mr. Sandman in a long time.
Got me again.
Hey, you
Sandman.
You eat something with a lot of carbs?
I don't know, man. Probably.
If you did, then that's probably, you wouldn't know. If you ate something with a lot of bread today and then you fell asleep.
I ain't even eat bread today. Nah, bro, I'm just like, bro, I just be up real late, man. And I wake up early.
Oh,
yeah, okay. That's all. Okay. It's me.
Yeah, that's you, bro.
Pretty much.
Switch it up, man.
It's me.
Switch it up.
And I get like 3 hours of sleep at night and then wake up and then I go. And then shoot, man, I crash, man.
Word.
Yeah. That ain't gonna cut it, man. 3 hours of sleep.
No, I know it. I know.
No. See, that don't work, man. That's how you end up sick.
Yeah.
And all that.
You be stuck resting for days.
For long amounts of days.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey,
recover.
If y'all are seeing us on YouTube right now, everybody look at Instantly G's shirt. We're going to play a game. If you know what's on his shirt, put it down in the comments, man. The first person to put it in the comments, we're going to send you something nice. All right. So y'all rush on over to the YouTube 3amp Media, find this week's podcast and see what G got on his shirt. If you know what it is, put it in the comments below. And we're going to send y'all something nice. We're going to send y'all a man, we're going to send y'all a Speaker Geekers shirt. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
What's up? Yeah, so.
Man.
That's funny, man. Y'all just got on me about my sleeping habits. So?
Well, I mean.
So?
That man is okay with that. He's like, hey, 3 hours is fine for me.
It's not every night. It was just last night.
Just last night.
Shoot.
Man, this ain't the first time you done got on here talking about you just woke up from a nap.
I know it, man. I know it.
That's
Usually
true.
Sundays, man, I try to take it easy, man. Take it easy.
That's right. Easy like Sunday morning.
I try to take it easy too.
Yeah. Saturday I go like extra hard, and then Sunday I just relax. So let's get into this gangster shit. Nah, I'm just playing. Y'all heard anything this week, man?
Man, it's a lot of news going on this week.
It's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. I guess we'll start with let's start with Snoop, man. Snoop came out and he pretty much kind of talked about the raunchiness. Let's see. Snoop pretty much talked about the raunches that WAP, the track is too raunchy. Which I know some of y'all like, wait, Snoop saying something too raunchy? Then it's probably too raunchy. But yeah, Snoop kind of came out and said that it was pretty much a little bit too raunchy. He also, I remember him saying something about, what about the women in hip hop do something different and cover up a little more? So I think this is coming off of that as well. So, but here's a quote from him. He said, let's have some, privacy, some intimacy where he wants to find out, as opposed to you telling him. He continued, to me, it's like, it's too fashionable when that in, I don't know how to pronounce this word. Secrecy. Anybody know that word? Secrecy. Secrecy. Oh, yeah. My bad, y'all. I thought it was something different. My bad. He says fashionable.
He was thinking too hard on that one.
Right. Yeah, I guess I saw it. I just was thinking way too hard. He said fashionable when that in secrecy that you should be a woman's, and it got some dots there. That's like your pride and possession. That's your jewel of the Nile. That's what you should hold on to. That should be possession that no one gets to know about until they know about it. So, he was kind of, Snoop is, if you think about Snoop, is older. And yeah, I know Snoop had a lot of he's done a lot in his career, but I don't, hey,
I don't. I just actually saw that, and I think Offset had said something back. I don't know what he said, but just my thoughts on what Snoop was saying. I mean, WAP was a solid song. It was a dope song. The message in WAP is I get what Snoop is saying there, but it's hypocritical though. I don't feel like we have a place to say what content or what a woman can rap about, because as a man we rap about absolutely anything. Absolutely, there's no censor saying, hey, well, this is too far. Nah, we rap about everything.
But should it be?
Huh?
But should it be?
No. It should be. I feel like art expression, because that's let's get down to what it is. It's an expression of art. She's not saying that that's her best asset, but she's rapping about her vagina. Hey. Well,
in the song she did say it was.
But we all know that's not her best asset. Her story, period. If you paid attention to it, she has a greater quality than just her vagina, because only a handful probably has actually seen and had her vagina. But I don't know. But
well, we go a little farther on what was said here. And as far as what you said about Offset, what he said was, he was like, I love Snoop, man, but she grown. I don't get in female business. I hate when men do that. I don't do that. That's pretty much what he said. And then let's see here. Offset came through with receipts. He said it's entertaining. He said it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? That's this is something else that Offset said as well. He says entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, is this? No, I take that back. I think this is Snoop saying it. But he said it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? That's the number one record. He said anybody can say what they want to say. That's 6-time platinum in 3 or 4 months. I think this Offset saying that, my bad. It wasn't that bad because it went number one. I'll be honest. I think I get what you're saying, like as far as like it shouldn't be no censorship, but I think censorship ends up being created on its own, because I think WAP was the song that went too far. And the only reason why I think it went too far is because a lot of people, like we've heard Lil' Kim did her thing. We've heard raunchy songs and all that. There's plenty of them out here. I think, but I think it was a lot of negative reactions to WAP as opposed to the positive ones. I think a lot of people was like, hold up, that's a little too far, you know?
Do you think that's a function of how big the song was?
Yeah.
Say that again.
You think that's a function of how big the song and how popular the song is?
And how popular the artists are.
Yeah, and how popular the artists are. Because, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, nigga, I could just name.
Yeah.
Like, Trillville, some cut. It's like, suck dick from behind, take nothing in your grill. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's no worse than that. But I'm just like, bro, it's going to be out there. It's just, it's everywhere. I think is what the issue is that it got to so many people. Because Trillville, when they made their song, they don't think a bunch of people gonna hear it. Even though, like, you know, with the advent of TikTok, a bunch of kids have heard Trillville song because it's been used because of that squeaky bed part. Like, people like that for dance videos and shit. But like, it was never like this. It was never the biggest song in the world. Trillville, some cut was never that big. So all the little kids wasn't listening to it in the car with their parents and shit like that. But then you gotta think about that may be the reason why people are so upset is because of how uncomfortable, and like this harkens back to the discussion that we had with Ace. People are uncomfortable about talking about sex with kids.
Oh, absolutely.
If kids are in the car and that's on the song, and then they singing along to the song, and then now you got to have that conversation that you didn't want to have because you older and you think it's weird. And like, come on, bro. I think a lot of the time it's deeper than just like we need to censor this song. I think it's also like, where are we as a society on being comfortable with sex at all?
Yeah, and I 100% agree. I think that is the reason. Because I think if it was just an album cut, nobody would care.
Yeah.
But I think since it's the main single with a video and it's everywhere, I think at some point, I think that it does become an issue. Because now it's like, okay, this can get to the kids. Whenever it gets to that point, then that's where I'm like, all right, hold up. This might be the one that goes too far and breaks the bank, you know? Because at the end of the day, like, you're right. They probably have heard that squeaky bed on some cut, but I wonder if they heard the whole song and not just a squeaky bed. Because, you know, TikTok is like a 5-second little thing. So it's like, do. But when WAP was, you know, pretty much, it wasn't creative. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't creative. It was straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? Wet ass pussy. Straight to the point. It wasn't creative. It wasn't no way to hide that. Like honestly, like when you talk about that verse from Trillville, like, kids don't know what nut is. Like, what is nut? Is he talking about peanuts? Yes, peanuts, son. All right, chill. You know? But when you're saying wet ass pussy,
it's kind of started it with suck dick from behind. Like, come on now. Like, they know what that is.
Oh yeah, they know what that part is. But when the hook is wet ass pussy, like,
I think we were set up like this because the song that's popping up in my head right now is Thong Song. When you look at the video, it's just a bunch of girls running around in their thongs.
And we're looking at a one-handed cartwheel. Don't forget that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A one-handed cartwheel in that motherfucker.
Right. But I think the thong song wasn't uncomfortable because thongs were a piece of clothing. Yeah. Versus Nelly tip drill. Right. Like, that had to come on at 3 a.m. Right. Everybody bed. It was never on the radio.
but you think about it, man. Like, Thong Song was a hot song when it came out. We all know what it was. We know what it was talking about. And
actually, no, because a lot of us hadn't seen a thong before.
Yeah, it was the first time. But then you watch the video, you figure it out. Oh, you talking about their drawers.
Well, they were in bathing suits most of the time. Right. I didn't have a clue what the hell a thong was.
I mean, it didn't take me much to figure it out, bro. I know one thing. I like that video. But
it was a real chick that showed me, like, this is a thong. Because she was like, they're in bathing suits. She was like, this is a thong. I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, that's different. Okay, gotcha.
But they, like, just you look at what's being available to the kids on TV now versus then, because then that was it was normal. It was okay for it to be on TV. And then you fast forward to now, what's cool to be on TV? Like that's what you see. That's continued. Like that was like in, I don't know what year it came out, but whenever they came out, like it was just, it was only that. You know, even the Back That Ass Up video had girls shaking their ass, but they had clothes on.
But they had on clothes. Yeah.
So like you fast forward now, like every video any female comes out with, that's what they basically remade Tip Drill, Thong Song, all those videos, and it's available for kids to watch now.
Not really, because
I was gonna say, where is it at?
Yeah, we don't
watch
see
all my videos on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't really see videos on TV no more unless you got Revolt. Like, BET don't even show videos like that, so it ain't really there. I mean, unless you go find on YouTube
access to the internet, and
well, most of us
have access to those songs because
I censor my stuff, so my son never sees
coming
it
on the radio. Those songs, wherever they getting their music from, they have access to it, and so it's okay for it to show. And like, man, it's just of the time now, man. It's like it went from like cussing in music was insane, and like when the NWA came out with their album, it was like, oh, you know, to everything that comes out has cussing in it. You know, so it's kind of like just the evolution of how people put art out. Girls always been like female. We talked about this in one of the old podcasts when we were talking about women in hip hop. Like it changed. We had not Lil Kim, but Queen Latifah. Who else? Queen Latifah always pops up in my head. UNITY versus WAP. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just the evolution of it. You got Lil Kim, Foxy Brown that really took it to another level, you know? And I honestly feel like after Lil Kim and Foxy Brown, like women took, in order for a woman to be tough, to be noticed in the music industry, it seemed like she had to talk about her vagina.
It ain't no seem like to it. That's just what it was, like sex sales.
Right. You look at Nicki Minaj, man. Nicki Minaj was huge. And then by the time she made it to where she wanted to make it to, her music changed. And then she started to fall off, you know? But she always talked about her vagina, men doing stuff for her, being dominant over her, man, and stuff like that. So, hey, that's what, you know, hey, it's sales shit. Why wouldn't you do it?
Shit, just because it's sales don't mean it's okay.
But if I'm doing something to make money, why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's the thing is, you know, what at the end of the day, what is your morals lie? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because like for us, like in my household, like my router, I can censor all the stuff that Kaden can see. Right. Like he can't get past stuff on YouTube, so it's not as available as one would think. Like he's looking at other stuff, like, you know, Nailed It videos, how to do the Nailed It cakes and Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. So it's not really as relevant as people think, because nowadays you can completely shut that down for one to see. And then, you know, it ain't like you don't have the hour-long shows of videos. Most of the time when I go find it, I'm searching for like the body song from Meg didn't pop up on my timeline of YouTube at all. Yeah, I didn't even know she had one. So I think it really depends, but I think like I don't want to censorship art, but I think sometimes things do go a little too far. Now, does it break the mold and eventually evolve into something that, you know, because eventually, you know, society just gets a little less censorship on things as we go along, because you see more and more stuff on television and the movies and things like that, and you're like, this is a PG-13 movie and this is going on. But needless to say, there are some points where you're like, wait a second, this might be a little too far. This might be way, you know, once it gets to the kids, you're gonna get backlash every time. Yeah. So you got to be careful. With us being grown, you know, we watch what we want to watch. But I think once you do, you know, get over to the kids, I think that's when stuff gets sticky. So, yeah, one of those things.
Yeah, man. I just feel like shit, man. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. As a parent, you have to say, okay, this is as far as I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I think Steve got the right approach with like this the blocking stuff that you have on your internet and everything. I think, and maybe that's something that they should have slid to Snoop and just been like, here, bro, this is how you like set up
right.
Just block it, bro. You ain't gotta watch it, bro. It doesn't have to touch your screen on your phone. Right, it don't ever have to touch the screen on your TV. You don't have to see none of this shit, bro. Just like being a person who leans left politically, you never have to see anything from the right wing if you don't want to. Bro.
Right.
Like the things that you seeing are because you endorse that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most times it show up that way. And that was perfect, man. It's very interesting that you said something about the right wing, because not only is Snoop saying something about it, but it appears that Per Cardi, and you can find most of these articles on complexmusic.com. Well, complex.com/music. Per Cardi, she actually revealed that the WAP pissed off a lot of Republicans. She also said that it was weird, but you know, I don't know. I don't know, because that's interesting to me that that you know that she would even know that it pissed off like specifically a lot of, you know, saying Republicans.
I was gonna say, man, that goes back to what G said. It's only because the song was so big and what type of artist she is. She sat down with Joe Biden and talked to him because she's against Trump. That's why that's why we bringing it up now. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's some type of news, just because that's why they have an opinion about it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? It's all because she put herself in that spotlight. So it gives way. Like if she never sat down with Joe Biden or didn't talk about Trump or didn't say anything like that in a political manner, nobody would say anything about her song. But she opened the door for it because the song, the song was talking about her vagina. And so like, yeah, that just opens the door for somebody to say, hey, I'm against that. And a parent can be like, yeah, I don't like that song either. Oh, this Republican is against it too. Okay, boom, I'm gonna vote for him. It's crazy the mindset of that you have to be in when you're trying to win something. Like it's like we wouldn't think of it being that way or anything of it, but because the position she puts herself in, I have to form an opinion about it because somebody's going to disagree with it. You know what I'm saying? And if I disagree with it, then either I'm going to gain a vote or not. I'm not going to lose a vote off of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that was with the Republican thing. But ain't nobody else talking about nobody's music.
Let me see. See, I don't know if it was just that. I think G hit the nail on the head. I think the song was too big. It got bigger than it should have been. And I also think it was like because of how direct it was. I think, you know, people had, you know, had some reservations about it. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, like you said, when she does get in that light, when you start sitting down with, you know, politics and stuff like that, I mean, you open that door for that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, man. It's a tough one because, that's a tough one. I don't really know. You know, in the music industry, most of the time they say all publicity is good publicity. But this one is just, this one is weird because I love Cardi. I think she's got a big heart. But I don't know. It's a tough one because the song, it you know, when you're a father and you got to think about it from that point of view, then you're like, I see their point. But that's the thing about art too, not just art, but the social media era that we live in now. Once you put stuff out there, it's no longer yours. People, you know, can comment on it and do with what they want. So it's just, I think it's one of those things where gotta have some tough skin, gotta power through it. But it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. It really is.
It is. It's gonna continue to be a tough one for as long as people have children and shit.
And I honestly believe that this song, man, is getting a bad rap for no reason. I hate that they talk about it so much, man, because the song is bumping. Like the beat dope, the lyrics are dope. It's what we want to hear, what we want to see in the video. Like shit. Let them express themselves like they want to, because she's like Cardi B has consistently been the same throughout this whole, like it's not a surprise that she did a song like this.
This is not out of what we expect. Like this isn't something that came from left field where we just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's like, nigga, come on, bro. 1 plus 1 is 2.
Well, I guess it depends on who to a core fan base is not, nothing to respect. But you play that in the middle of church with a bunch of people who don't listen to Cardi. They're gonna be surprised as hell. So
please don't play that in the church, bro. That's they make a church version of the song.
It better not be
worship and praise or something like that.
I'm not even gonna attempt to mess with that because I thought about
trying. We're gonna just call that good, and we're gonna move on to the next thing.
Yo, shout outs to Cardi. Keep pushing. Don't worry about the criticism, man.
Right,
Keep it going.
Push the envelope, man. Push it.
Be careful with pushing the envelope,
man. Man, push that thing, man.
Don't. Yeah. Man. And whew. Oh man, hey, we already got through.
Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about drugs.
What?
And guns.
What?
Drugs and guns.
Okay. So if we want to talk about guns, there's an artist out there, R&B singer l.i.b.r.a. I'm not too familiar with who they are, but if you are,
never heard
this is a story for you. Arrested in ATL after a man shot in the head. So it was a hotel shooting. Man, I saw this like all over social media.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people thought it was the other R&B singer, l.i.b.r.a.
Who is that?
l.i.b.r.a.
l.i.b.r.a. Okay.
I think a lot of people got her confused with the other, but TMZ covered it, which is interesting. So I guess somewhere she's doing something. I'm trying to look up some records from her to see if I came across her by mistake. But yeah, so she got arrested. I think she got out on bail, but that's an interesting story.
Yeah.
So that's one thing about guns. But if we want to jump into drugs, Philly rapper l.i.b.r.a. He's currently waiting sentencing from I believe what he got. What they were. Let me see. l.i.b.r.a., who is currently awaiting sentencing on several charges ranging from conspiracy and distribution of crack, cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamines, is alleging harsh treatment behind bars in prison. So what's going on with him is he's experiencing some kidney failure, and they are pretty much refusing him medical treatment. And while he's in jail, he's in, I think, solitary confinement. And that's a pretty interesting story given with all the COVID stuff. And, I know in jail they have to get you, I'm not gonna say they have to, but normally they get you, your medications when needed. But he's alleged that he's, going through some harsh treatment and he is not getting medical treatment. And kidney failure sounds serious to me, so I would hope that they would. But, yeah. Oh, that's a rough one.
Yeah, that's
right
tough,
there.
Man. Get them some help, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I know you're in jail, but I don't think there's no human being should be, denied medical treatment. Is what I say. So,
man, that stuff there, man. Like, why is it that we have this stereotype of black people being very violent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, no, I'm talking about the one. What's her name?
l.i.b.r.a.
I don't know much about it, but you have to really piss somebody off for them to shoot you in the head. man, that's a very violent thing to do, and a very intentional thing to do, I think. I wonder what happened. You know, to cause her. I'm looking at a pretty picture now. She's looks like a very pretty girl, who's like, yeah. She like I feel like people that sing and do music and stuff, they kind of focus in a certain area. I don't know, man. I saw that and I was like, I don't know who that is, man. So
So a quick rundown of her. She's from Chicago. She signed to Interscope. She's best known for her single "Secret," which has 50. I believe the video has 50 million views on YouTube. Yeah, that's crazy. And peaked at number 22 on the Billboard charts.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's doing something.
How people be having so much success because like peaking at number 22 on the Billboard chart. That's a lot of success for me that have never heard of you ever.
Right.
Like, it's like we live in totally siloed worlds where you can be the most successful thing in your world and I would never know you exist.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
crazy. And that was a friend of hers, is what they say.
It's crazy because she's been around. I want to say her first project was in 2017. So she's had like 3 projects since.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Man, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
It's truly wild.
I hope whatever it is, I hope it's, she's in connection to it.
Is her friend okay?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. It says in connection to. I hope that is not the case. So it doesn't seem like she did it, but seems like it's somehow she.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Hopefully,
the judge for her own time.
Get it together.
I don't know if she did it or not, but this is interesting. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. It sucks. Yeah, it sucks.
Lil Wayne pleaded guilty.
Yeah,
to gun charges.
Yeah,
I saw that he would be facing 10 years.
Yeah,
that's damn.
How old is Lil
Pretty
Wayne?
much. Pretty much.
36, 37 years old, maybe 38.
I think. Yeah.
So we possibly damn near 50 if he did get sentenced to jail time for 10 years.
He's 38.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I didn't know that.
Did No Ceilings 3 come out or something? Did I miss that?
It came out.
It did. I completely missed that, bro.
I missed it too. I didn't think to go listen to it.
Me neither. Every time I heard that one song with him and Drake, BB King.
I ain't even heard that.
It's straight, but I just never listened to No Ceilings. I was like, where do you this came out? But I feel bad for Wayne, man. I don't understand the whole I need to take this gun with me and stuff like that. I don't understand all that. But from his standpoint, I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But from his standpoint, you're flying here, you're flying there. You're in a bubble, a specific bubble. You know what I'm saying? You have enough to where you don't have to do it. I feel like if you have enough money to pay people to do certain things, anything illegal, you can probably get away with. As far as him carrying guns on the planes and stuff like that, I think that's what it come from. To jeopardize your career, to put you in a situation to where you're not able to be around your family. You're still able to take care of your family, I assume. But to put yourself in a cage for 10 years like that, or facing 10 years, to just juggle with your life like that, man, I don't understand that,
What? So
life must be fairly dangerous for somebody that's living that way.
Right. You
know what I'm saying?
Like,
has to be fairly dangerous for you to be like, man, this shit could get me into some real fucking trouble. But also, if I don't do this, then the repercussions on the other side might be worse than going to jail. So it's like, I don't know, because I'm not in that position.
Yeah.
I have not been in that position for a long time. So it's like, I don't understand. I remember the first few times that I did carry a gun with me anywhere, and I was like, this feels bad. Like I feel like I'm kind of setting myself up.
Yeah.
Like that's what it always felt like. Was like I was setting myself up for the worst thing to happen.
Yeah.
Like every day. And I was like, man, this is not what I want to feel like I have to do in life. Like even if it is like a dangerous situation, I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Some people, it doesn't sit as heavy on them, maybe. Or maybe they feel like just, rather you than me type of thing. Yeah. I'm like, I'd rather not be living till I'm 80 years old thinking about the niggas that I killed. Like, I don't want to do that.
Nah. Yeah. And that's the thing that I'm saying. It's like why, like how, basically, how are you putting yourself in a situation now at this point? To have to do that.
For him of his caliber, I think this was a conversation with the first time that it was caught with a gun, that it just doesn't make sense. Like, why is there... Wayne is probably the most unfortunate rapper in history. Because there's never no one there for him when he gets in trouble.
Yeah. Because
you wonder, like, why wasn't it someone else to just take the charge for him? Now, I'm not saying that you should just have somebody there to take a charge for him, but why is it that... But in most cases, most people of that caliber don't. This doesn't happen to them, they don't really get caught with that. Or at least there's a licensed bodyguard who that's his, that's his gun, or he's able to take that and be like, this is mine, or whatever. I do want to bring up the description of what gun he has, because now it makes me think, like, was this an accident, or was this, was he really carrying this gun around for protection? Because what is being told, what it says here from the New York Times, is that he was carrying an illegal firearm, which we know, but it was a gold-plated 45 caliber Glock handgun and ammunition. And he was while traveling on a private jet. So that stuck out to me, because I know I'm not, if I have a gold-plated pistol, I'm not carrying that one around. That one's kind of like in a display. That's not the one I'm not going to carry around the gold-plated one. I'm carrying around one that's a lot less, a lot less, what's the word? That you more likely you wouldn't see than a gold one that you'll see a mile away. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm carrying around probably a matte black Springfield Hellcat or Glock, or whatever on my hip, and most times it's concealed anyway. So the reason why that kind of raised along, because I'm like, that's kind of weird for you to be carrying around a gold-plated gun.
But even if in that, and I'm just throwing this out there just to see what y'all thoughts are. I'm not sure on the rule, but isn't it against the rules because he's a felon at this, he
shouldn't have, period.
He shouldn't have it, right?
Yeah, he can't have it at all.
That's the thing that I don't understand. It's like, why, like, okay, you know the rules. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have enough people around you. You have enough money for somebody to say, hey, that's my gun. Well, why is it in his luggage? It fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have enough money for somebody else to claim ownership to that, because you have to surrender all your guns and stuff once you become a felon. Like, anybody that buys a gun is connected to your name. You know what I'm saying? Unless you buy it off the street from somebody or something like that. Yeah,
unless it's a throwaway or something like that. Yeah. That's why I wanted to bring up like the description of the gun. Because it sounds like a prop to me.
Right,
you know
what
I'm saying?
Exactly.
It sounds like, because if he is like, say he is like a gun connoisseur, if that's the right word, you know, a collector of them, you know, say,
can you even do that?
Well, you shouldn't even bring it on a jet anyway. So it's a bunch of like just bad decisions.
Bad decision making.
No, that's why I just wonder, like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Like, I'm not sure how that situation ended up that way.
Yeah,
no,
it's tough because, man, I want to see Wayne be great. You know what I'm saying? Because he was such a part of my college days and my life. You know what I'm saying? As far as music, and I want him to be great and do great things and stuff like that. But it's like, bro, it's like, man, you already went to jail. I think you went to jail for like a year and a half or something like that. When you came back, music, the industry had changed, and you know, you was on a high when you went. When you came back, you was still riding high a little bit, but I felt like you was coming down, you know. Then you came out with I think it was, what's the last Carter? Carter 5? Came out with that. Yeah, came out with Carter 5. Like, okay, we see peaks of what we've been missing. Funeral came. Like, oh, okay, all right. And then this happens. We know you're gonna do some time. So at that moment, at that point, it's like, man, you get out, you're gonna be 40 probably. You know what I'm saying? What's next for you? What you gonna do now? You know, who's behind you? You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if he was really betting that the White House would step in and help him out.
Somebody said something so silly, man. They was like, he shouldn't endorse. Did you say that?
Yeah, I said it in the Slack. Thanks, Tommy. Thank you.
No problem.
But, and that was a joke, everyone. That was a joke. But it was brought up in this interview in the Times. Like, they were like, no one from the White House has called or intervened in it.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, you
might
know,
get a pardon.
It don't seem like it. He had not too many more days left to get that pardon.
All you need is one.
That's true. Well, I don't know. I
mean, he can be
how
like,
it,
hey,
how
I'm
it
gonna
works.
pardon him today. It can be January 19th. Or
But it's like paperwork. I don't know. I want to know how that works. You know what I'm saying? Like, does he have to put in paperwork? Oh, he just says it. I don't know. It's just, I think what we're seeing is we're real live witnessing the end of Lil Wayne, the destruction. You know, like for some other artists, like say, I'm taking Whitney for example. Right. Whitney was at such a peak, Bobby Brown too, but they were at such a high that I knew you was gonna catch it. Because when I said it, I was like,
pun intended.
I was like, crap. Somebody gonna be like, but they were at such a level, and then, you know, as us being kids, I don't think we really noticed when it started to go down.
No.
But now we're looking at someone like Wayne, and we're like, oh my goodness. Like, this is like, all right, this is sad now. You know, first, you know, going to jail, then the issue with him and Baby, the long stint of not being able to release music. Not just that, just, you know, his image altogether. Folks are like, is he okay?
Yeah.
All the way to, he's like you said, it sounds like he coming back with something, to now like, crap, like he's probably finna go away. And if he does actually get sentenced for like a full 10 years, which most likely it won't be. But if he gets anything other than 2 years, then you're somewhere in your 40s.
Yeah.
Like, what happens then?
Which not saying that you can't be a successful rapper in your 40s, because look at 2 Chainz and Rick Ross.
Yeah.
And Jay-Z.
Yeah.
That's a lot of. But still, the thing is, like, what I'm kind of like piggybacking off what you said, Steve, as far as like with Whitney and them, we didn't really notice it because we was too young. And then like now you get to see it in real time. You get to see the progression of somebody going from here to here to here. And you're like, oh, this is ugly. And it's kind of like, you know about it because you've seen celebrities who, been up high and then come down, but you haven't seen the entire process the same way. But with this one, we've seen the entire process. And the sad part is this is not an exception to the rule. This is the rule of being a celebrity, is that you do the fucking,
you have the
triangle, the what is it, the plot diagram. You go to the rise in action, to the climax, the fall in action, the resolution. It's like
peaks and valleys.
It's sad. It's sad because what's funny to me is that so many people still will see that and want it so bad. Still want to travel that path. And I'm like, you do realize that this part right here still exists. You have to.
You have to come down.
You don't get to do this and stay here. You still got to do this.
Right.
And then this part looks differently for everybody because you got some people who do it very gracefully. And then you got other people who do it and it's not as graceful. Like a Stevie Wonder, I would think it would be graceful as hell. It's like this man was on top of the world and like now he's older and not as like, as big of a deal, but he's still not like terrible. People not looking at Stevie Wonder like, oh my God, that nigga went crazy or this nigga lost everything or nothing like that. Everybody just like, oh yeah, Stevie just older. We fuck with Stevie. That kind of thing. Yeah,
like you come down with a parachute. But it seems like in Wayne's situation, he
cliffed down.
He didn't get a parachute. He's coming down straight down. Oh man. So man, shoot, I never want to wish bad on anyone. So, I just want to, man. Hopefully, whatever it is, he can, he can get himself together. But this is a rough one to see. Really a rough one to see.
Yeah. Because even thinking about, because we ain't talking about the master situation with him.
I was actually gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
not yet, but that is a great segue into the main topic today. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So not only is Wayne pleading guilty, he also. There's another thing with this too, which I'll bring up also. But he also sold his masters for $100 million to Universal. I believe it's Universal Records.
Universal Music Group.
This is the most interesting thing ever because, and we've been trying to fight for artists to get their masters, and the message always was like, buy your masters and go make your money. But for Wayne to do it the complete opposite is pretty alarming. And I think it goes back to what we were just talking about as far as his career. He's hitting, finna hit that low. And wondering like, okay, what has really happened? Because I thought he got his money from Baby. And the fact that he owns his masters and that, that's going to like more than likely double if he kept it versus selling it. I mean, $100 million is not small money.
Nothing to sneeze at. You don't ever have to do anything else for the rest of your life.
Right. He's definitely not going. He's definitely not going broke.
Stop right there. Let's end this myth of bullshit that like $100 million is not enough money. Nigga, you don't have to play anything right. Like, you don't have to worry about shit. It's not at that point in his career. Like, Lil Wayne is not like at the beginning of his life and making his way through life. This nigga has done all the groundwork shit. So he don't have anything that he has to do no more. Everything from this point is a bonus. So $100 million is fine. For him and his kids and his grandkids, them niggas don't have to worry about shit. Think about like people who have regular jobs and shit. A nigga might make $50,000 for 30 years, retire, and then like leave his kids a little bit of money. Like $50,000 for 30 years is like nowhere near $100 million. And that's fine for niggas. So like if you got $100 million lump sum, you good, bro. Like you don't have to worry about shit. You don't have to worry about nothing at all.
Absolutely.
I hear you.
And that was actually one of the questions I wanted to pose was that, are we looking at this and are we not looking at this objectively to like look at it as if, okay, like you just said, it's $100 million and he sells his masters off, you know what I'm saying, the university, like, Ha, it's yours. 100 million. I got my check. We out. Versus the message of buy your masters. Buy yourself out your contract. Buy your masters. Make all your money come straight to you. Mm-hmm. So are we not looking at this like objectively? Are we kind of like completely just frowning upon it instead of being like, yo, that's 100 million, what do you think, Tommy?
When I saw it, man, I was like, oh, good for you, man. I didn't like, I had to like seriously think about what that meant, you know what I'm saying? And it obviously means like his music is not his music anymore, basically. But just the idea that somebody would have to get permission from Universal Music Group to feature Wayne's song in something versus talking to the actual artist, or you thinking that you needed to talk with the artist, but you actually got to get permission from Universal to use it.
Well, hold up, Tommy Rip. In both cases,
am I wrong about that, or?
Well, I was gonna say, in both cases, you would never talk to the actual artist. More than likely, you would talk to. Most time you either go through, say, one of the major PROs, being my ASCAP or CSAC, the kind of licenses that are, you'll do like a direct license and probably talk to his management team or whoever runs that.
But at the end of the day, either the artist signs off on it or the music group signs off on it, right?
To some extent, yes. Sometimes stuff gets signed off. You don't even know it's being played, but you're getting a check.
Oh, okay.
But to some extent, yes.
For the bare minimum, music group versus like whoever owns the master has to sign off on using the music, right?
Well, it kind of depends. Well,
okay, Steve.
It's really the trail of the check. All right, it's the trail of the check. Like, let's look at it this way. If he keeps his masters,
simplest form, Steve. Simplest form.
Yeah, let's keep it simple. If he keeps his masters, most likely he's getting 100%. But now that he sells his masters, he doesn't own them. Now, if he is getting paid for anything, it's probably pennies on the dollar.
Oh, okay. All right. So he still can get paid off of his music. It's just not what the music group is getting paid.
Absolutely. It'll be just really depends on whatever they got set up in the contract.
Yeah. It was a liquidation thing, man. He needed the money. Yeah. That's essentially what I like. Once I figured out the master situation, I was like, that's a liquidation thing. And then the thing about him pleading guilty to gun charges, I was like, yep, that's what it was. They have to connect to each other. Just because, shit, he got to pay some lawyers. He got to pay some fees. He got, you know what I'm saying? He don't know what he's facing. He's facing 10 years. He got to still take care of his kids. He got to take care of people that work for him, all this other stuff. So that's a liquidation sale, Yeah, I got this asset. And that's the cool thing about making art, man.
Well,
like, cause painters sell their paintings all day.
Yeah. They do. I guess the difference with the painters is the painter most likely gonna get 100% of their sale up front, unless he like went through a company and then they sold it for whatever they wanted to, and then give them what's left or whatever they negotiated. The interesting thing about this deal is it actually was done back in June.
Oh, okay.
The problem with it was that he was already going through. Yeah, he was already going through like some lawsuit already.
Yeah.
So it wasn't announced till now. And I probably should have led in with that, but I didn't know I was going to get to the part of him probably needing money for this lawyer situation now. But since we're there,
I'm sorry, I want to throw that's where my mind went to. It's like, that's liquidation. I would have did that. That's a smart money move.
But now that we know that this was actually done early in the year, does that change what you think about,
Nope.
It being liquidation? Because at that point, it's like, okay, he's just now getting to that money because whatever lawsuit was beforehand was there that he had to get through. He's now finna get that money for that. It's not going through.
No, this charge was back last year, was in 2019. So he knew about, this is something that he knew he had to deal with. And so for it to actually happen in June, it makes more sense because
that's right.
Now that he's pleading guilty, because he just recently pled guilty to it, things are starting to move a little bit faster. So I need that money. You know what I'm saying? So by the time like 6 months ago, we talking about selling my master. So 6 months later, hey, y'all need to give me my money if he already doesn't have it. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
It's like I understand where you're coming from. Like, man, you got to do what you got to do, and stuff like that. I get why people say own your own art, own your masters and stuff, but it's an asset just like buying a house. People tell people to buy a house because that's an asset. You know what I'm saying? And instead of selling his house, which I mean probably could cost him, not cost him, but you know, probably could get him some money. I have this bigger asset, which is my music. Let me run me that. Give me that check, and that's a guarantee that they're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
with all that us coming off of him having this charge and then also looking as if a liquidation sale, I want to get to something that I saw that, we know now is that he just flat out pled guilty. If we go back to the earlier gun charge, when he had to spend time in Rikers Island, he gave that in the cross examination, he gave that prosecutor hell. None the least. If everybody remembers that memorable moment from Wayne, pretty much just being very difficult in that situation, to now seeing him completely say, "Hey, I'm guilty." Do you think that he feels like, all right, I'm going away, and you know what? I liquidate this money. This is for my people. See y'all when I get back.
Okay, so one thing that comes to mind when I think about Lil Wayne is that I think he's a very smart person. I think he's very perceptive, and I think he understands what's going on. I think the first time that he got charged with the gun charge, one, it probably wasn't, damn, it was a cold ass interception. But y'all gonna see this shit on the highlights. That was a cold. But you think about the first time that he got the gun charges, he was a lot younger, because this is years in the past now. He was a lot younger. He still had a lot of his life ahead of him. He was on top of the world at that time. So he was going in with a different feeling about things than what he's going in now. Like the last 10 years up to now have not looked like the previous 10 years before he got charged the first time. Yeah. So he's not going to have that same confidence that he once had of like, man, I still got a whole lot of life to live. Like, this shit ain't gonna mean nothing. Like a little bit of time ain't gonna mean nothing type of thing. This time it's like they throwing the book at you. They telling you how many years you facing if you don't plead guilty. And then they telling you how many years you facing if you do plead guilty. In the meantime, you have probably had more children. You've gained more of a relationship with the children you already do have. You've decided to employ all of these people. Like, all of these people depend on you. Like, you can't be just gambling with your future that way. You can't just be up there giving prosecutors a hard time no more. Now you got to think about, like, how do I continue to be there for my family, even if I've gotten in trouble for whatever I've gotten in trouble for. And like, I think back to a line from a song, Beat Without Bass, where he go, "You old ass rappers need to stay on tour. You like 44. I got a 44. I'm 24. I can murk you and come home when I'm 44. Like, back then, that's dumb young nigga shit, where it's like, the time is still on my side. But like, now you 38. You ain't 24. If you get in trouble now, you ain't coming home when you 44. Right. You coming home at a different age, and you missing out on golden years with people that you love. You like, man, fuck that shit. Like, I'll go ahead and sell some shit so I can try to, manage the lawyer fees and all of that. I plead guilty. I go in so I can come out quicker. Yeah. And then that way everybody's taken care of while I'm in. And then when I get out, we can worry about it from that point on. I think that's what's going on in this situation with Lil Wayne.
He is now in the role of the 44-year-old that he was talking about.
It's funny to talk about when you're 24, but it ain't the same when you get up there. Because niggas don't be, who is it? Big Crip was talking about that. Like, people don't be talking about living. Like, people be, everybody be dying young and shit, and everybody be thinking, you know, I'm here for the moment and then I'm gone type of shit. But it's like, who gonna talk about life? Like, who gonna talk about continuing on past 50 years old when you get to be 60 years old and shit? Like, what you gonna be doing then, bro? Like, you ain't gonna be thinking the same way. You're not gonna be wanting to do the same shit no more.
So, especially when you start to actually begin to live.
Yes.
I think that's a very, very important aspect to all this. With that being said, this one thing popped into mind as you mentioned him not having as much confidence. So what I wanted to say for that was, do you think that his first stint with going to jail made him more comfortable with pleading guilty to the charges?
I don't know. I can't really speak to that, but
no,
I don't know.
The reason why I bring that up is because a lot of people I've seen when, and you know, this is personal experience with my own brother, just kind of seeing that it seems like once they go that first time, after that, it seems like going in is just, you know, it's just a thing. Like, I go in, I know what to do, I get back out, and I do what I need to do. With that, you know, it's been a while since he was there, but, you know, it's kind of like when, you know, you get that first semester of freshman year over with and you going back to school for, you know, your sophomore year. You're a little bit more comfortable when traveling in hallways. And I mean, jail is jail. It's hard, period. So, but as we've seen with a lot of artists, we've seen Tip go to jail a couple times. We've seen Gucci go to jail a couple times. And then I've even heard some people say that I've been before. This ain't, you know, jail ain't spit. And, you know, that's why I wanted to pose that question of, do you think that he's more confident now that, like, all right, I'm plead guilty. I know what's going to happen when I do go. I know what I'm going to do. So do you think in a psychological term that makes his, you know, his plea of guiltiness a little more easier than, say, if you never would have went?
I could see that. I think that the school analogy that you used made it a little bit more clear for me. Because when I think about like going to college, like the first time I went, it was like, I ain't never experienced this before. I don't know what to expect. You get there, you go through your freshman year, you kind of learn the ropes. You're like, okay, I kind of got my footing here. I know what to do. And then you know how long you're going to be there for the most part. You know, okay, I'm going to be here for the next 4 years, 5 years, whatever the hell. And then I'm going to be done. And I'm going to go on to the next step type of thing. But then when you come back later in life and like more shit has happened, you develop more relationships, you've gotten further into like your life, you start thinking a little bit differently about going back to school. And it's like, under certain circumstances, yes. But under just tomorrow, I'm just going to go back to school, I don't know about that shit. Yeah. it's like, yes, if there's a reason for me to go, yes, I will go back to school type of thing. Once you've been out, like once you've taken time to be out of school and then you got to actually retrain your mind on going back to school. Because I've seen people do that. I did it myself, and I've seen people who are older than me do that. Where like they get out of school for a little bit and they've been out for, like one of my coworkers, she was out for like over a decade. And then she went back at like the age of 40 to go back to school. And then she was like, this shit hard with Barry. Like, I don't even know. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. And I had to like coach her through it a couple times. Like, nah, you can do this, man. You can do this. It's just, you know, you're doing this for a year and a half or 2 years or whatever, and you're gonna be through. And you gotta worry about this shit no more. And she was like, she pressed on and she ended up getting finished with it. But she was just like, it was hard, like getting back into that process. And I think the reason that she was able to even get back into that process was just like that experience. Like you said, she knew what to expect and she knew it was going to be hard, but she also knew that it was only going to be for a certain amount of time. It wasn't like she was going indefinitely or like about to be in there for some ridiculous amount of time. It's like, I know exactly what I'm doing when I go in here. And I feel like with Lil Wayne's case, maybe that's what it is. It's like, I've been there before. And like the first time it was more like, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm just going in because I've, gotten in trouble this one time type of thing. But this time it's like, okay, yes, maybe I was guilty. Yes. But this time I'm going in on my own goddamn terms. I'm going in to do my punishment the way I want to do it. And then I'm coming the fuck out. I'm not gonna let y'all sit here and decide my fate because y'all feel like this day. Or y'all feel like this day. Like, we ain't doing that shit. We gonna figure this out and I'm gonna go in, do my thing, and get the hell out. And I think that may be like what you were saying. I think that may be the thing. But nigga, shout out to fucking Miss Fox. That's the lady I was talking about that went back to school. Man. Shout out to
Miss Fox. Yeah. Miss Fox. In no way are we saying jail and college are the same, but I felt like that was a perfect analogy with it. I want to pose this as kind of like our, say, final thoughts. And this is for both of you. Seeing everything we've pretty much talked about with Wayne as far as, the pleading guilty to the gun charge. One thing that I haven't mentioned, his ex-manager is actually suing him for $20 million since selling since he, after he sold his masters and got the $100 million. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing like kind of bad business somewhere. And that's alleged, because we don't, it was saying that there was some unpaid commissions. So we're seeing possible bad business here. We also saw the breakdown with him and Baby, as well as, the music not sounding the same or being up to par. And like we were just talking about him, he's hit that peak and now he's on his way down. For us, we can see it. And it's tough to watch. But I wanted both of you to kind of give me your thoughts on, do you think Wayne feels that it's over? Like, as far as his career? Because, of course, he has other investments somewhere. I'm sure he has plenty of money. But do you think that Wayne is coming to terms with, just like you said in that line, he said, you 44-year-olds need to stay in your lane. Now he's he's not 44, but he's 38, but now he's up there and he's kind of seeing the rapid situations of his career just fall, unraveling before his eyes. Do you think that he is sitting there and he is literally seeing this before his eyes? And do you think that he's coming to terms with that his music career is probably over? Or do you think that he is trying in some form or fashion to fight that? What y'all think? Because we've seen him sell his masters, which is backwards from what we would want him to do. We want him to own his masters and get paid forever, pay himself forever. So it's like, man, is he going through like a midlife crisis? Is he coming to terms with like, you know what, this is the end, and I need to get what I can get?
Gray, you want me to go first, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
See, y'all get to do the polite stuff today.
Right. Now, I think it's like just him selling his masters. I strictly believe that was just a business move for him, as far as like being able to have cash, moving the asset from being like basically liquidating it or whatnot. I think that's what that was. As far as his career goes, and with music, I'm not sure, just because he just came out with No Ceilings 3. No Ceilings 3. So as far as him still making music, I don't know. He still could make music when he got out. I think he still has the smart thing for him was his other business ventures, setting those up to make sure that they're thriving. So once he does gets past all of this, he can go into that part. He can, like, at that point, it's I can make music because I want to at that point. You know what I'm saying? Not because this is how I pay my bills. And I think that's where he is. As far as like his actions prove that his actions say I think I may be going to jail for a while. You know what I'm saying? That's what his actions say, because he pled guilty. He liquidating his music or sold his masters. He's getting sued. So we obviously know, like you said, it's some type of bad business somewhere. So he's taking care of a lot of things. So he obviously, from those actions, we obviously think he's not going to be able to make that money that he needs to make in a period of time. So I just think it's his growth as far as like from when he was younger to now, just mentally preparing himself, being proactive rather than reactive. So that's what I think, man. Those are my thoughts.
I'm sitting here thinking about it, like, Tommy, when you were saying, talking about it, liquidating the cash and then, or liquidating the assets into cash. And then also coming to grips with the fact that, like, maybe I'm getting a little bit older. And maybe it's like, maybe the music thing isn't the cash cow that it once was. It's kind of what it seems like to me. And I think that's something that, as an older celebrity, you have to come to grips with, is that it wasn't necessarily your talent that got you all of that money. Like, your talent was what brought the eyes to you, but it ends up being like the staying power. Normally, the celebrity is like your persona, who you are, what people take from you, and how interested those people are in seeing and being invested into your life and you doing things in life. And I think that as you get older, like, yes, people don't give as much of a fuck about you because you older. Like, you doing your own thing. You become more of a boring person. People don't really care no more. You're not doing all this exciting shit no more because you old. Because you tired, bro. You like, man, fuck this shit, I'm ready to sit down. But like, so I think even when you think about the fact that he has a podcast, like that shows me that he sees it. And then also the quote that I had quoted earlier, like, he knows it's a real thing. He knows that as you get older, you don't make as much money from that music the same way. So like, I think that he has been like putting his affairs in order to get older, to become a more mature version of himself for a while at least. Because I mean, it ain't like you just start a podcast yesterday because you had the idea. Like, we know, like, that takes time. You have to put that together. You got to have a team around it and shit. And he did. He put a team together and he has a podcast. And that is strictly based off of his persona. Like, he's not doing music on there. He's talking to people and sharing ideas and letting people know things about him that they wouldn't normally know. And so he has monetized his personality in a different way, which is something that, like, today's artists have been able to do from the jump. Like, back in the day, we didn't have as much access to people's personalities. But like now, you know, with the advent of social media, like, that's what people come out the gate doing. They might have a smash hit and never make a song again that ever does anything. Like, you think about Lil Nas X, like, still to this day, he got like the biggest song ever that ever existed, but this nigga ain't got to make another song ever. All he got to do is just go on Twitter and say something funny every now and then, and he gonna keep getting paid. Because that's what people want from him. They just want him to be the Twitter troll. Or like, you got people who have like Cardi B, like her Instagram Live. She'll just get on Instagram Live and just start talking about whatever the fuck that day. And that's what keeps people's eyes on her. Or like Plies. Like, we don't hear much from Plies musically. He still drop music from time to time, but whenever I hear anything about Plies, it's because he done said something funny. Or he done done something funny. Like,
absolutely.
It's exactly. It's people's personalities. And you think about like Mike Tyson, he got a podcast. And like back in the day, that was what drew people to him as a boxer, was that he just had this persona about him that you was like, this nigga knock folks out. Like, that's what drew people in, was initially like, this nigga knocking folks out in the first round. But then like from there, you start to learn more about him. You learn he got this list. And you just think that's the funniest thing in the world, that this big burly nigga got a list and shit and talk like he talk. And like, it keeps the eyes on him. But then he turned that shit around his older career, like as an older person in his career. And now he's able to profit off of it. And I think that's what Lil Wayne has been doing. It's like getting those affairs in order. And I think this was like a monkey wrench in the whole plans. It's like that this gun charge came in, and I think that's where you get like the liquidation of the assets. It's like, damn, I wasn't planning on this, but I'm glad that I did get them masters back though, because now I can actually factor for this hiccup right here. I don't have to worry about it. It sucks.
Absolutely.
Because like you said, you would rather pay yourself for the rest of your life, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Absolutely,
man.
absolutely. Man, great points from both of you. And as y'all talking, I was putting mine together. I view it as an athlete, and I know we view hip hop as a sport. Most of the time, you've heard that. I view it as an athlete, man. And they've said it before. It comes a day. Like the fans, the commentators, everybody can see that you're getting old. You don't have the quick step as you once did. You're now tap dancing in the pocket, as Stephen A says. You just tap dancing in the pocket. If we were relating to football, or say like one of my favorite players from my favorite team, the Miami Heat. You start seeing like D Wade. You just saw his knees just going before your eyes, but yet he still had the drive to play. I see it as that, like we're able to see it, and for the athlete, it's like one day they wake up and they're like, yeah, I think I'm getting old, or it's like, it's time, like this is heading to this stop. This train is beginning to dock the station, and it's probably time for me to get off. So, I agree with you both. I believe that this was a monkey wrench in his plan, and maybe this is his grow up moment where he's like, yo, that was stupid. Like, why am I carrying this around? And so in order to get past that, he has to do some things that he wasn't planning on doing. When it comes to like homes, you can turn your home into a liability, not liability, but into your greatest asset. And I think that's what he did with his master. So for him to get $100 million up front and to be able to pay legal fees, take care of his families in the potential wake of him going away for a long time, as well as going through the issue with his ex-manager, I think that he's just being a man about his situation and doing what he has to do to get his children, his family across the finish line while he's not there. So, man, I agree with both of you. We pray for you, Wayne. Hopefully whatever it is that, saying you need to get past whatever the issue, if you have any issue, I'm just saying, whatever those deep, dark things are, to get past that, I hope you get it. Also, I think that was another thing that you brought up as well, like time. You go away one time for a nice stint, people be waiting on you to come back. You can put out some music, it'll be cool. But when you go away that second time and seeing how quickly the industry changes, I think that's the scary part of not knowing if you're going to be able to come back and perform like you once did, which kind of relates back to kind of D Wade having those surgeries on those knees. Like, I'm out for a minute, and then you come back and you're like, there's a couple of people that just came out of college that's a lot quicker than you. And you might need to ride the bench, even though you don't want to. So, man, I say all that to say, man, man, we hope Wayne gets better, because I would like to send him, if we're coming to that end, I want to send him out correctly, and not have him to be forced out like we've seen a lot of athletes go.
I'd like to see him turn into like some Snoop Dogg type shit.
Absolutely.
That's the trajectory I thought he was going on, because at one point he was DJing and stuff too. So DJing, skating, just that free spirit that he is. And I agree with you all the way. So there's ways to be seen, man. The story ain't over yet. So not yet. Not by a long shot. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you, listeners, for listening to another episode of the Geekers Podcast. If you haven't already, please go subscribe to the channel on YouTube at 3M Media Studios. Follow us on Instagram at Speaker Geekers Podcast, and the same thing on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Tommy T the Third. You got G at instantly_G, and you got Steve at the Great Steve-O Steve, all on Instagram. And yeah, you guys got anything?
No.
Steve?
I know I have some, but I ain't got nothing today.
Steve has nothing today, guys.
That's weird.
Well, with that said,
yeah,
I'm out. Peace.
Peace out.